Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm going to teach you a few things how to take this second house to the next level. See how long this takes. Alright, I'll turn off my head and we'll get cooking. So what we did last time was we created the second section. So you should already have this first section complete with the stair. We're going to create that second section. So we've already done this in class. I want to show you a few things. We're going to move this stair over, cut a hole. We cut a hole in this section here. We cut that hole right there, which we took directly from above. Remember? Took that line right there, and then took this line right here, made the whole thing, make sure that that line there lined up with the one down at the bottom. Just grab that grip, pull it straight, and it does, so I know that it's working. And then these are going to eventually be on a different line weight. They'll be a bit thinner. So I know that one dimension, I think these are the numbers you have. One is 35 feet and the other one is 30 feet. And I think those are the numbers you have. I know they're 5 feet different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this ridge. And then whenever I look at this ridge here, I see that flat portion of it. But when I turn the house, everything just comes to a peak. So all I have to do here is use the stretch command and just drag that in. So I'm going to drag that in 5 feet, and then those two things will connect. The other thing I want to do is I'll get rid of this floor here and extend this floor over, and then I'm going to use these stairs for something else. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take the floor plan, and I'm going to use this one here. I'm going to go down and use that one. I'm going to take the floor plan and rotate it. So now the section that I have is looking, it's cutting through like the hallway in front of the bathroom, looking toward the stair. So what I want to do is take that floor plan and then rotate it. Of course, line it up. Line up those walls with those walls, which should by default line up those walls with those walls. And then I know that I've got the right size, which is great. And then I want to take the inside edge of the stair. So I think it's a 39-inch stair. Take those two lines, copy them straight down. And then the other thing is I'm going to grab these. I could have left them there. See, I was just on this plan here. I have them there. I'm not going to work on this. I am going to work on this plan, but I just want to do it on... Actually, here's what I'll do. I'll do this. I'll just move this up. Kind of from there, from base point to base point. There we go. That'll make things a little more clear. So I'm going to copy these two lines down. Copy that one. Copy that one. And bring those babies down, which looks good. And extend them. Cool. Get rid of that hatch. Don't really need that hatch. And trim them at the top. Trim those two things, and then I'll also trim that floor because I actually am cutting through the floor. The stairs in the distance, so these two lines will get cut off because the stairs in the distance. All right, so now all I need is a few of these runs, as many as I want. Copy them across, then extend them so I know they're straight across. And I'll extend them this way. So these are all my rise heights, and then I can just copy those. If I copy these two, but use that base point right there, booyah, just keep on chucking them on. Should land right on top of that slab below. It does. I can use the blue window and get rid of that. And then same thing when I copy it up. I can copy as many as I want. I'll copy 3, see what happens. Perfect. There should be nothing left up there. And then I'll get rid of these. If I use the blue window, it gets rid of all the stuff that is inside of it, not the stuff that it's just touching. And that's what we went through last class. So I want to do a couple more things for you. We've made that new section. We stretched it, and then we installed the new stair. Something else I want to do is I want to finish this elevation. So before we took this section, in the last video, we took this section, copied it across, and then got rid of all the guts, got rid of all the inside stuff. So I don't need that thing anymore. I'm just going to get rid of it because I've already done that, and this is my finished result. A couple of things to know are the grade is going to be 6 inches below the top of the foundation. Top of the foundation is right here. And then I always draw a little tick right here. This is the top of the main floor. I always draw, not the joist, but top of the plywood, the subfloor. So I always draw a little tick right there, usually about 2 feet long. It's 24 inches, and then I just trim it up, just so that I know where the top of the floor is. My old boss Brian Enns taught me that one. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is this elevation here is looking at the front of this get rid of, I'll leave that there. This elevation here is looking at the front of this. So I kind of showed you how to do this before. I'm also going to show you how to draw in class. I'm going to show you how to draw some doors and windows, which I'm not going to do here. I'm going to show you how to draw them properly. So I got those doors and windows, got that wall, door and window, outside of wall right there. Good. So then I can bring this thing over and line it up. So I'm going to take a line from here, take it straight up, and line that wall up with here. Usually give yourself a bit more room than I've given you. And if you copy this, you'll see that, yeah, that wall on the left there, I pointed with my finger, that wall lines up, which is great. So I'll get rid of this, get rid of these, looking good. So these are walls right here. Those are outside of walls, so I can just extend those down right to the grade. So that wall's going to extend down, and then we're not going to see those anymore, so that's going to be trimmed up. I'll do the door first. I'm going to copy this door straight down from here to here. Doors sit on the top of the floor, so the top of the floor is right there, and it's going to be 8 feet tall, offset 8 feet. That's just the number I'm giving you, and then I can extend these lines. Not saying much anymore. I'm just going to make a door, rectangular door, and then the trim on my door is going to be 4 inches. So I'm going to trim this, or pop it out, and then fill it those lines. You don't do it down because the door is sitting on top of the ground or on top of the floor, so I wouldn't have any trim underneath it. I guess I could. Yeah, I could. What the heck? Did I say 4? Your trim can be 4 or 6, whatever you want. Not working. Here we go. There's my trim underneath that. That'd just be in that spot. I won't see the top of my foundation here, so I'll make some steps there later. So my stair is going to do that. Let's see how far it is from my top of floor to grade. 1'6". So let's make some 8-inch risers. Offset 8. Should get just 1. So I'll just make that. That's going to be a step. So I won't see the top of the foundation because there's actually a step there now, just a single step, which is cool. And then it's going to step up into the door. What's it going to step up? 10 3/4. That's too high. So I'm going to offset again, 8. I'm going to trim the bottom of that door. That's going to be my next step. That's why I usually don't put trim on the bottom of a door. It usually ends up looking a bit goofy like that. So there's my door with my step, and then I can do the same thing with the windows here. So I want you to draw a window. So we drew a window together before in class. I'm going to offset this thing 8 feet. The windows are at 8 feet. Change this line weight later, or this line type. And I'm just going to copy this thing down. So the way I drew windows, like in this dumb window here, I want them to be drawn smarter than that. So I want the trim to be 1 inch. These trims here to be 1 inch. Actually, no, let's make them 2. Let's make these 2. That's what it probably usually is. So we'll make that frame 2, and then we'll make these 2 as well. So they'll go 1 each way. So here's how we're going to draw this window. This window is 9 feet by 5 feet, so it's 5 feet tall. So I'm going to offset this line 5 feet. There's my window. Looking good. I think I have a layer called doors and windows already. 005 doors and windows. I do. It's right here. I'm just going to match that property so I get the right line right away. It's wonderful. And then I think I'm going to join these and then offset them too. I think if I do that, that'll give me the frame on the outside. Then I want to put a 4-inch trim on them, so I'm going to offset that line out 4 inches. Just like this. I'm going to match the properties because it's my door and windows layer. Looking good. This mullion here is usually, what is it? I can't put a little dimension on this thing. It's about 1.5 feet, so that's good enough for me. I'm going to take a line here. You can draw a line over top of a line. Then I'm just going to move that. And I'm going to move that 18 inches. Then I'm going to offset 1 each way. And if I go 1 each way, it'll give me a total of 2, right? So 1 each way to give me a 2. Got a mullion down the middle too, so I'm going to mirror this. I don't want to draw it again. I'm going to mirror it right from the center. There it is. Then I'm going to copy this one here to the center as well. So I'm going to do something kind of funny here. I'm going to move from the corner of that to the edge, the corner to the center here, and then I have to move over 1 more inch because that thing's 2 inches wide. And trim all this up. Making this nice window. Looking good. And then this one here is going to be casement, so I'm going to offset that. I think it's 2 again. Let's do 2 again. And fillet these. Right on. Match some properties. So that's an operable window, so it's going to be a little bit different. And then I'm going to put an angle in here, a little arrow showing this is the way that thing opens, and that's going to be on the hidden layer. That's how we draw a window. The next window over here is 8 feet by 4 feet, so I'm not going to draw a new one. I'm going to copy this one. I'm no sucker. So it's going to be 8 feet wide, not 9 feet. So I got to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to move this window into place. Oops, that's the frame. That's the trim. I want to go from the frame, which is that corner right there. Put it here, but it's 1 foot too big, so I'm going to stretch it smaller. I'm going to stretch this a foot smaller. And then this center chord needs to move over 6 inches, like that. Looking good. So this is now 8 feet wide from that point to that point. There's my 8 feet. It's also 4 feet tall. So I'm going to stretch. You can see the stretch command comes in super handy. I want that little arrow there to go as well, so I'm going to stretch the middle of that. Now it stretches half the distance, so I should stretch up 6. There you go. There's my other 8 foot by 4 foot window here. How do we hatch? We use a few different hatches up here. They're up here in the top left. So if I click on this hatch, I'm going to then click on this little button right here, which opens up the rest of the hatches. And I'm going to use a few. So the one I want for concrete is it's called AR Conc. I'm going to put it here. Make sure to put it on the proper layer. I'm putting it on the wall layer right now. I'm going to not do it over again, but I'm going to put it on the proper layer. I have a layer called 005 hatch. I'm now going to hatch my siding. So the siding hatch is called line. There's line. It's going to come in really dense, so that's going to be too thick. So I gotta adjust that. If you zoom in, let's see, it should have come in. Let's see here. So if I make this maybe 25 for a scale, let's see what happens. Yeah, that worked a little bit. Not quite enough. Maybe I want 40. And then what I can do is I can put a little distance command on that, and just make sure that it's about 6 inches. You can't snap to hatch. That's 5 inches, so I'll change that scale of it, and I'll make that scale 50. It's up there too. There we go, a bit better. Shingles are called AR shake. I'm gonna hatch that, and once you have some hatches that you like, you can just keep them and then match properties to them. There's AR shake. It's good. I like this hatch over here better. It's a better size. I had one previous. I'll just match the scale. Do this one here too, match this, and then I'll match that concrete, so get the proper color. And then this is my stucco here. So what I can also do is I can just put AR shake on here whenever I want to use sand, but this one's actually called sand. We'll find it for you. I think it's called AR sand. Let me go look in my layers. It's called AR sand, yeah. So I've got it already, but I can put any hatch I want on, and then I just match the properties later. There's my AR sand. Looking good. Okay, so the other thing I want to do is I want to make another elevation. So there's 2 ways I can do that. I'm going to get rid of this. I do that one pretty fast. And get rid of this. Now I want to make an elevation that looks like this. So I'm going to make the right side, as you see, no windows, and it's going to come to a peak, right? So there's 2 ways we can make this. One way is to go in here, get rid of all this, because we don't see any of this. I'll just keep the top of the foundation. Keep that. And then if I want to make this smaller, I know it's 5 feet smaller, so I can erase that and stretch. It's got no windows, so I stretch it 5 feet. There's my second elevation. I could have also gone and grabbed this section. This is another way to make it. Grab that section copy it over here, then erase all the innards again, right? But then you got to kind of redraw the grade and stuff. So maybe a better way to do it is do it like this. Then just hatch it. I'm going to put just random hatch on both these spots, on all three of these spots. There's one. Put another hatch here. Good. And then another hatch on the concrete. I'm just hitting enter for repeat last command. And now what I can do is I can go match the properties. So that hatch goes here. This hatch goes here. And this concrete hatch goes here. Good. That's how we can make the second elevation. I want to show you a couple other things too. I want to show you something called the group command. So I'm going to get rid of this hatch here for now. I can bring that back anytime. This is all a bunch of individual lines. Sometimes I like to group them, so I hit G for group. I select them, and now they're all combined into one group. If I ever want to ungroup that, I hit UN, which is units, but just below it is ungroup. Select that group again, and that becomes individual lines again. But I like to group my windows and doors. G enter, G enter, and then same thing with the doors. I like to group these things so they don't sort of fall apart. Might not group that door. So that's pretty good there. Hatch, we put the grade on. The grade was 6 inches below top of foundation. That's about all I wanted to show you in AutoCAD today. Hopefully that video is short enough. We'll see. And hopefully you're learning well. Have fun, everybody.